Welcome. During this episode of our Discovery Dialogue, we're going to be talking about Discovery's growth, past, present, and future. I'm Dr. Moore, principal, and we also have Mr. Martinez, our superintendent. We are now moving into the end of our 12th year at Discovery. So Discovery opened the doors in the fall of 2010 with just over 300 students. Here we have captured this memory of our inaugural school year. I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to Mr. Martinez.
All right, so as Dr. Moore shared, we opened up our doors in 2010. We had students in grades kindergarten through sixth grade. And what you see here is an overhead shot of the Discovery School. And you'll notice the two outlined boxes of what is now the middle school. Our first year, we actually had two tenants that we shared the space with. So the yellow was one tenant and the red was a second tenant. Moving into 2011, we added seventh grade, and then we actually kicked out one of the tenants. Just kidding. They moved willingly. It was part of the agreement. And we took over a portion of the middle school space here, which is now our science room, our math room, and then a portion of our resource room here. So 2011, we grew into our second year and just had the one tenant. 2012, we broke through and took over the entirety of the building. And so that's what makes up our middle school today. So our middle school has our composition class, our project-based class, technology, of course, our library is in this area here, and then the remainder of the middle school. So 2012, we were K through 8. For the first time, and then we actually celebrated our first graduating class of 8th graders, which was 14 students that year, a nice small group. So between 2013 and 2015, Discovery continued to grow. We actually outgrew the space we had and had to add some modular buildings to the east side of the building by where the music modular currently is. We worked with national parks and acquired some additional land here to the west of our property, giving us some land all the way connecting to 20. So this blue outline space is all Discovery property. Okay, so that is our land here. And like I said, during that time, we continued to grow. We went through our first renewal with Ball State University, Office of Charter Schools, who is our sponsor. And we got renewed for another 5 years. And then also in 2015, we acquired bond financing, which allowed us for a building expansion. Dr. Moore?
In November of 2016, we have added the addition, which includes our 4th and 5th grade classrooms. With that, we also added the gym, a cafeteria space, as well as some additional bathrooms by the gym cafeteria space. And this is the space that most people, when they're coming to our school for the first time, this is really what stands out and shines. And, we're really proud of this addition. Now that we have, added so many more students, we needed these additional classroom spaces for our 4th and 5th grade teachers. We also have a teacher's lounge that was added. And then the classroom space that currently our reading and math specialists work out of. We also have additional space for a conference room and our office for our social worker. continuing with this timeline in 2018 and to 2019, we were able to update our playground space. More room for our students to explore into the natural space that we're so lucky to have here on site. I'd say the number one area that most students talk about is in that right-hand corner there, which is the Gaga Ball pit. That is a space that I feel just really draws in kids and is something unique that I feel that maybe other schools haven't maybe heard about yet. So hopefully we can inspire them to maybe add this to their own space. With that, we also have swings. That was also very exciting for many of our students. And then I would argue this is the second most exciting thing that students tend to be drawn to, and that would be our zip line. So that's the large picture there. You can see the zip line, which is in front of, you can see the swings there on the right side. And then we also have a saucer swing that is really fun as well. So just really expanding from the playground space that we had, opening up more into the natural space that we have. It has been exciting to have more options for our students during their recess time. In 2018, 2019, we were able to clear some land and add some field space. Even though we're surrounded by the beautiful land here, we didn't really have that open space for students to play the soccer, engage in some of those larger games that we want our students to participate in. Also with that, we have a pebble bridge there that students like to go back and forth across. And then it also connects to, we have some mushrooms on the ground too that connect back into that natural space over by our playhouse and Gaga Ball pit area. We're always wanting to find and create additional outdoor space for our students. And we want students to see that these are also spaces that they can learn in. And these are some just additional outdoor spaces we wanted to highlight. So starting on the left, that is our newest outdoor space with the pavers. And some of you, thank you, have already contributed and purchased some bricks to help us create this space. And this is right nestled in between our the swing saucer, and between the Gaga Ball pit area and the pebble bridge. So this is a nice natural space for students to, some like to act out some plays and do some skits. Teachers can bring out their class and have another space to learn and work in. So just trying to create another defined area in which students and staff can enjoy, and then also be protected by the elements, which is why we added the sails there as well. In the middle space, we have the outdoor lunch area. We understand that sometimes students have to be inside to eat, but as much as we can, we want to allow them the opportunity to be outside, and how refreshing that is, to enjoy this wonderful space we have around us while they're eating and chatting with their friends. And then also on the right there, we have the outdoor classroom, which is also another space that most people see when they're coming to our school for the first time. And made that very, very natural looking as well with the tree stumps. And we also have a table there, which staff use to do science experiments, display items, and then a learning chalkboard space to also present information. And an example would be, I see Mrs. Pavlovic, our naturalist, is there, who also supports our staff with lesson planning and instruction. And, one presentation that I remember recently seeing her do This year was the maple sugar presentations. And so that's just a great opportunity to be outside while learning, looking beyond the walls of our building. I'm going to turn things back over to Mr. Martinez.
Oh, sorry, I was muted there for a second. Thanks, Dr. Moore. So the current project we are looking at is our learning pavilion. So obviously we have that barn space near the field and the playground that you saw either when you were on site or in the previous pictures. In the fall of 2019, we worked on replacing the roof, which you can see in the picture there, and then also cleaning out the inside and getting it kind of down to its bare studs. So that way we were in a position to repurpose this space to make it usable for our school. So what you see here in this picture is kind of a rough drawing of kind of how we envision this space. So the raw storage for the school, tool storage for some of the activities that the students do outside with their classes and some of their projects. And then what we're really looking for is an open space for our teachers to have to bring their kids for other activities. We want to have sinks in this space, of course, storage. They'll be outfitted with a whiteboard and projector. But really, one of the things that we want to focus on is bringing as much natural light into this space as possible and making it useful all year round. So Dr. Moore, if you can hit to the next slide, please. So here's a rendition of kind of what we are hoping to get something similar with the glass open doors that open up. So that way in the nice weather, we can open that up and get some of that fresh air coming through. And as you can see, our vision is to really bring as much natural light into this space as we can. So currently we have fundraising already underway for that. But what we are looking at is the spring fundraiser that's coming up this Friday, our annual event, Dow, Discover Our World. All the proceeds from Dow will also be contributing towards the completion of this learning pavilion. And so we continue to fundraise in hopes of continuing to expand not just what we offer here at Discovery, but also our physical grounds and our physical space. So that's kind of our current project.